Hello, dear all. I hope you are doing well and ready to our next lesson. Today we are going to talk about negative numbers. Let's start. I will draw a number line. This is a line. We can put arrows to show that a line don't have any endpoints. It comes from somewhere and it goes to somewhere that we don't know. Okay, as we said, this is a line. When I'm going to put numbers on it, it will turn to number line. I will start from middle and I will plot numbers. To plot numbers. Plot. This is a mathematical term to plot numbers on number line. Okay, as you see, 0 is in the middle. And we have two sides from 0. We have right side and we have left side. It is decided to plot positive numbers on right side. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and so on. And it is decided to plot negative numbers on the left side. This is the same one, but with negative sign. It is the same too, but with negative sign. This is negative 3, negative 4, negative 5, and so on. Okay, so our right side is positive numbers. Our left side is for negative numbers. As you see, the distances from 0 and for corresponding numbers are same. What do I mean? 1 is on one distance from 0. Negative 1, it is also on the one distance from 0. 0 from 0, the distance to 4 is the same from 0 to the distance 4. So, as we see, distances are same. Their position are different and so their sign are different. Why it is positive 4? Because it is on the right side from 0. Why it is negative 4? Because it is on the left side from 0. Okay, now let us continue some numbers and we will see that as we are going to the right, numbers are going to be far from 0. And as we are going to the left, and again, numbers are going to be far from 0, if of course the same values with different sides. Okay, now let us compare negative numbers. Okay, comparing negative numbers. As we know, again, we'll draw a number line. It is important to show arrows, to show geometrically this is line. In our geometry lessons, we will talk about it more detail. Okay, so 0 is here. Now I will take the two distances to put 1, 2, 3, and 4. And of course, the same distance I have to take here as we discussed that. The corresponding numbers are on the same distance from 0. Okay, guys. Now, if we want to compare 2 and 4, where is 4 and where is 2? Okay, let us take positive side. Let us take right side. Okay, this is a rule and decision, and also it comes from our practice and experience that 4 is more than 2. Because if I have $4, it is more than $2. If I have 4 cakes, it's more than 2 cakes. Okay, so we see that 4 is on the right side than 2. 4 is near to right side than 2. As you know, this is positive infinity that we don't know what number stay there, and the same here that this is negative infinity, we don't know what number stayed at the end. So just here we see that 4 is nearer to positive infinity. Sorry, 4, yeah, 4 is nearer to positive infinity than 2. And at the same time, 3 is more than 2 because 3 is nearer to positive infinity than 2. But we know that 1 is less than 2 because 1 is not nearer to positive infinity than 2. 2 is nearer to it. Okay, if we take the same rule the same way, what we see here, let us compare -4 with -2. What we see, guys, which of these numbers is nearer to positive infinity? Of course, it is -2. So, -2 is more than -4. -2 is more than -3. But -2 is less than -1 because -1 is nearer to positive infinity than -2. Okay, so as we discussed that as we are going to the left, numbers are going to be far from 0. It seems that when we go to the left, numbers are going to be decreased. But when we go to the right, numbers are going to be increased. Okay. And of course, any positive number is bigger than negative number. 0 is bigger than any negative numbers. Let us write it. Okay. Any positive number is bigger than any negative number. And of course, we know that any positive number is bigger than 0. 0 is more than any negative number. Okay, and what about negative numbers among them, and what about positive numbers among them? We have already talked about it. One more time, I want to say that if the number is near to right side, if the number is near to positive infinity, it is more than another number that is far from positive infinity. Like on number 1, -10 is here, but -7 is right from it. So -7 is more than -10. But if we want to compare positive 7 and 10, we know that 7 is here and 10 is here. So 10 is in the right from 7. It is nearer to positive infinity. So 10 is bigger than 7. Okay, guys. Now, let us look at differences from numbers, differences among the numbers. Okay, again, I will draw a number 1. The first point of mine is find the difference between 5 and 12. Okay, this is very easy questions as we learn it from preschool, kindergarten, in grade 1. We continue this topic. We know that to find the difference between 5 and 12, 5 is here, approximately I will take guys, 12 is here, so difference between them is 7. Okay, now find the difference between -5 and -12. Okay, already we know that -5 is here, -12 is here, and we discussed it already that the distances, it doesn't matter where you are, distances are same. So again, the distance here is the same, it is 7. And the third point of us is find the difference between -5 and 12. Okay. Why our third point is a little bit different than first and second. In the first point, we found the difference between two positive numbers. In the second point, we found the difference between two negative numbers, but now we are going to find the difference between one negative and another positive number. Remember, when you have to find difference between the numbers that have different signs, like one of them is positive, another is negative, it is very important to plot 0. If number 5 is here, 0 will be here, that 12 is here. So we can find the difference in 2 steps. As we know that the difference between -5 and 0 is 5, the difference between 0 and 12, the difference between, it means the distance between them on number line is 12. So the total difference between -5 and 12 is 17. Okay, now let us see the calculations with negative numbers, like how to add them, how to subtract them, how to multiply and divide them. Okay, there are a lot of rules and methods how to add, subtract, multiply, and divide negative numbers and the positive at the same time. Now I want again to teach this rule on number 1. Okay, as we know, to add 2 with 3 is very easy for us. That is 5. What does it mean? We have 2 and we need to go 3 steps on number 1. That will be 5. But what about -3 plus 2? Okay, if I have -2 and I will go 3 steps, that is -1, 0, and 1. What about -2 minus 3? Okay, again I have -2. Now I will go back. I will go left side. 1, 2, 3 steps. That is -3, -4, and -5. So this is addition and subtraction on negative numbers, actually the same way we did in kindergarten, in preschool, in grade 1. We started to learn addition and subtraction on number line. The same way, of course, we can continue. I know that it's not practical every time to draw a number line, to go by steps, but it is the general meaning of how to add and subtract numbers. It doesn't mean are they negative or positive. And generally, what we can get which rule we can get from this number line practices that when we have two positive numbers, we just add them and put positive sign. Like 5, if we don't see negative sign in front of it, means it's positive number. And when we have two negative numbers, the same. Again, we add them, but with negative sign. Okay, what about negative 2 plus 3? And guys, also we can have negative 3 plus 2. Let us find out negative 3. If I go 2 steps, it is negative 2 and negative 1. Okay, let us analyze these methods. Like when we have one negative, one positive, from the bigger number, from 3 we subtract 2, the answer is 1 with positive because the powerful one positive, so the answer is positive. And here, you can say that negative 3 is not bigger than positive 2. Yes, you are correct. But now we are going to compare them with their distances. Like 3 is distance from 0 and is more than the distance from 2. So 3 is powerful here, and it's negative. So again, we subtract, and the answer is negative sign. Like 3 is negative and 2 is positive. So from 3 we subtract 2 because practically we don't know how to subtract 3 from 2. So from 3 we subtract 2, but of course answer will be negative. Like now we can say that if we add negative 7 with 10, answer is positive 3. But if we add negative 10 with 7, answer is negative 3. And also we can say that when we add negative 10 and negative 7, it is actually addition of them. This is negative 17, and when we add 10 with 7, it is just 17. And now we will talk about multiplication and division. So multiplication and division of negative and positive numbers are easy. Like here, we don't need to take any number line and so on. Just there is a rule that, actually there are some rules. When we multiply positive by positive, answer is positive. The same thing, when we divide positive by positive, answer is positive. The same thing in negative. When we multiply negative by negative, answer is positive. Negative divided by negative, answer is positive. But when we multiply positive by negative or negative by positive, in both cases, answer is negative. And the same thing we will say here, like negative divided by positive in both cases, answer is negative. Let us see some samples. Negative 3 times negative 4, answer is 12. 15 divided by 5, answer is 3. If we multiply negative 2 by 4, it doesn't matter which one is bigger, which one is far from, it is just negative 8. When we divide 12 by negative 6, answer is negative 2. So when we have two same signs, answers are always positive. When we have two different signs, answers are always negative. And also, sometimes we can have two signs together, like negative, negative 3. It means that there is a 1 that sometimes we don't see it because they don't write it. So this is positive 3. If we have plus minus 3, it is again some 1 here. It is positive 1 times negative 3, and this is of course negative 3. Okay, guys. So today we learned some important points on one of the popular topics in mathematics, negative numbers. First of all, we had a mathematical term in the lesson, the plot points. We learned how to compare negative numbers. Of course, if you know how to compare, you will easily order them. We find the difference between two positive numbers, two negative numbers, and one positive and one negative numbers. And of course, we learn mathematical calculations on negative numbers. Okay, I hope you enjoyed the lesson and you got very useful information here. Thank you for watching. Thank you for subscribing. Thank you for sharing. I got very positive vibes from you. I'm so happy that you like the job that I am doing here. You are welcome. And of course, as always, I'm telling at the end of my lessons, I really appreciate if you subscribe, share my channel among your friends, because I also get that the useful information and the knowledge they can get from here. So thank you for being with us. See you next time. Goodbye.